You're watching Fox 13's Good Day Tampa Bay.
We are in Seffner this morning at the exotic Plumeria. Yes, this is how leis are made. It's because of the Plumeria plant. And my gosh, I had no idea how many different kinds of Plumerias there are. There are like 180. They've been open for 30 years now, which is pretty incredible. We're going to take a tour through the exotic Plumeria garden and hopefully even learn how to make our own leis. So, aloha, do a little dance this morning, baby? Maybe not. I'll keep the dancing to you.
No, she won't.
All right. We'll see you later, okay?
All right.
Bye.
Filling in for Charlie Belcher. Oh, you look gorgeous.
Aloha, my friend.
Aloha.
Look at this. We are in a tropical paradise this morning. You would never guess that Dr. MLK is right over there. We're in Seffner, but take a look at where we are. This is the exotic Plumeria in Seffner. Like I said, it's right after Dr. MLK. Once you walk into this store and into this garden, it is like you are transformed into another world, specifically Hawaii. We're going to talk to the man behind these beautiful flowers and where his inspiration came from. Coming up on Good Day. Stay with us. Yes, we are at the exotic Plumeria Tropical Gardens and Nursery. There are so many beautiful flowers, over 280 different kinds, but we want to know the man behind these fragrant flowers. And you know where we're going? To Waikiki to find out. It's really close to Seffner, by the way. It's coming up after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Surprise! It's Jen, not Charlie. Charlie's on vacation, so I'm filling in for Charlie's World this morning, and we are at a very cool, very beautiful, very fragrant-y place this morning. We are at the exotic Plumeria Gardens. It's in Seffner, just after Dr. MLK. But I swear to you, once you get off of the roadway and come into this area, you are in a tropical paradise. And I'm holding one of about 280 different types of Plumeria flowers. And our friend Alan Bunch found this on his own, gave it a name. Hi, good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Nice to finally meet you. I know that you've met Russell, you've met Walter, Charlie.
Yeah, everybody down there.
Yeah.
I will have to admit that you add more beauty than any of those guys to my nursery. You
Say it
fit into the
again.
flowers.
Well, thank you very much. 30 years.
Yeah.
But I think the most incredible part about this is where you started before you decided to open this Plumeria business. You were an accountant?
Yeah, I was in the field of accounting for 30 years. And my first trip to Hawaii back in '89 changed my life when I came across these flowers. It was a life-changing experience,
And
literally.
after that trip, you decided to change your path completely and start this business.
Well, I did it on a part-time basis for a while, but then I went full-time in, I think, '98.
What about Hawaii and Plumerias touched your heart?
Well, I've always, when I saw the movie Blue Hawaii back in 1961 with Elvis, and I said, if there's anywhere I ever go in life, I want to go to Hawaii. It was a lifelong dream. So I got to go there for the first time in '89, and it blew me away.
And you've been back every year since?
Just about, yeah.
So you go there, you find the flowers, you bring them back here, and you wholesale sell them across the country. We've got so much more to talk about. We're going to show off this beautiful garden coming up a little later on Good Day. Alan Bunch? Plumeria King is what I'm calling you today.
Okay.
Plumeria King. Stay with us. More Good Day coming up after the break.
Jen Epstein, no nature deficit today, right? You're at the exotic Plumeria.
Oh my gosh, we are in a Plumeria paradise this morning. Russell, look at these beautiful, beautiful flowers, all with a different name, different fragrance, and a different look. We're talking about the Samoan fluff, the hot pink. Wait a second, the Russell rainbow? Oh, no, that says the Ruffle Rainbow. Well, anyway, Splendor, Canary. We're going to take a closer look at some of these beautiful Plumerias and talk a little more to the man behind. I call him the king of Plumerias. It's the prince of Plumerias, of course. We'll talk with him coming up after the break. Stay with us. Not the Russell Rainbow, the Ruffle Rainbow.
And then Jen Epstein is at the exotic Plumeria this morning in Seffner. We'll check in with her. Isn't that pretty when we come back?
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Well, Welcome back to Good Day Tampa Bay. I'm Jen Epstein, filling in for Charlie Belcher this morning, and we are in the world of plumerias, the exotic plumerias. And I'm speaking with Alan Bunch this morning. He's the owner of this beautiful land. You said a couple things to me, just so you know, and some of our viewers know this already. I recently attempted a garden. Attempted is the word. It blossomed, it grew, I got some peppers and all this stuff, and then I kind of let it go, and the summer kind of dried it out, and so I have a black thumb, not a green thumb.
Yeah, well then you should be growing plumerias.
I should be growing plumerias because you told me that they thrive off of neglect.
Right, yeah, the less you do for them, the better they like it.
Sounds about right.
You know, and they're a good xeriscape tree, which means they don't require a lot of water. Now, anytime you grow a plumeria and it's in the ground or in a pot on the ground, it's okay during all this heat.
Okay.
But if you're growing a plumeria in a pot,
which
on
we're
a
looking
deck,
at now,
on a deck or a concrete, you need to water it twice a week instead of one because there's so much heat coming back off that deck or the concrete that it burns the bottom of the leaves. You'll get scorched.
But if you put it in the ground,
you put it in the ground, you don't have that problem. Or if you put it in a pot that's on the ground.
So plumerias love Florida.
Oh yeah, they love Florida. Yeah, they do very well here.
So these are the plumerias in the making. They're just growing and
they're starting to put buds out. You can see over here some flowers are starting to develop on this one, and just one so far is opened. But you can see that, and another one over here. So yeah, these are starting to bud out.
You've been here for 30 years.
30 years.
And people from all over the country, all over the world, come to you for plumerias.
Yeah, we sell to nurseries in Japan and Portugal. We've shipped to Tahiti. We've shipped to Saudi Arabia. And of course in the United States, all over Texas, California.
So what advice do you have for someone who walks into your nursery and says, I've never planted a thing before?
Well, I mean, it's hard to go wrong. The only two things that will kill a plumeria is a hard freeze and overwatering.
That's what I did to my cactus. I killed my cactus.
Yes,
so don't overwater. Give it love, but not too much water.
Right, exactly.
And these, so you travel to Hawaii every year.
Right.
You're looking for new blooms, different types of plumerias.
Right.
And are these some of the ones that you found most recently?
Well, yes, these are cuttings that I took back in February. This is a part of them. I brought back about 4,000 cuttings this year. And so these were just planted in March and they're already blooming. Because if you cut the cutting off of a large tree, there's a bud already present in the plant. So it'll go ahead and bloom while it's rooting. And that's what happens here. And
now you are officially the Plumeria Prince. I know I said king, but I like alliteration, so that sounds better. And so much so that you even wrote a book.
Yeah, I wrote this a number of years ago because there was no book. This is the only hardback book in the world on Plumeria. There's a couple of softbacks, but this is the only hardback. And I did it primarily as a coffee table book so people could see the beauty of the flowers.
Wow, I mean, from accounting to plumerias.
Right,
and I know we're going to toss back to Russell. I'm officially your favorite, but you do want to give a shout out to Russell Rhodes, right? Because he...
Yeah, Russell, how you doing, bud? I don't have an earphone, so I can't hear what you're saying.
But you said he was one of the first, right?
If you start coming out to live shots again, be sure you're not in that day in Sinjin. Okay?
I did not know that's what he was going to say. I thought he was going to spread love your way, but apparently not.
But Russell's okay, but you're better.
He's aging very well.
Oh, yeah,
now he has a new
aging
favorite.
very well. Not much hair, but that's about it.
Laura Moody, she's a beauty too.
Okay, you're right.
Coming up
Okay, right.
at 8:50, we'll take a closer look at some of the beautiful blooms that they have here.
A long time ago with Alan. I love it.
He said a long time ago he had more hair.
That was fun.
Yeah, I know.
That was fun. Thank you, Jen.
better bald.
Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
So you've interviewed him. Charlie's interviewed him in the past.
Walter's been out there, too.
Walter's been out there. Yeah, it's a family affair.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
We'll leave him with
It's
Jen.
your-
It is, let's go back to Jen Epstein right now, who's in for Charlie Belcher. Hello.
Well, wow, your eyes.
Hello, friends. What? My eyes. What happened? What did I miss? I've been teasing you guys this morning. You know I like to do that. Show you a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, the beautiful plumeria. I've shown you a bloom here, over there. But this is what I've been saving for you all. Plumeria Paradise. Look, as far as the eye can see, hundreds of different types of Plumeria. It is all in this beautiful exotic Plumeria nursery right off of Dr. MLK and Seffner. We are going to take a closer look at these beautiful blooms coming up after the break, so stay with us.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Welcome back to Good Day. Jen Epstein here filling in for Charlie Belcher. I'm invading Charlie's world. I like to do that every once in a while. And we are live from the exotic Plumeria garden. It's in Seffner, just off of Dr. MLK. And we've been hanging out with Mr. Bunch all morning long.
Hi, how you doing?
You ever think about flowers, bunches of flowers, your last name?
Yeah, that's come up before, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's kind of meant to be, right?
Right, it's meant to be, right. And I live on Grove Avenue.
Oh, stop it. Do you
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you were meant to be here.
Yeah.
So you've been showing off some of your Plumerias all morning long, and I know I haven't really talked to them about the smell, the fragrance, because they can't smell it if only it were smell-o-vision. But man, do each one, they smell so good.
Well, and that's one of the wonderful things about them. There's so many different fragrances.
Yeah.
No two Plumeria smell alike. If you see a different color, a different size, and there's anywhere from peaches to cherry-flavored Kool-Aid, citrus.
Yeah, you did say one over there smells like Kool-Aid.
You know, and so many different fruity fragrances that it's just almost endless.
So let's go take a look at some of the plants.
Yeah.
I like, who would ever think that you could relate these flowers to Brussels sprouts?
Yeah. Well,
not exactly, but stay with me here,
when
friends.
a new bud is developing, this
Okay.
is what you see coming out of the tip of the branch.
So that's when you know that
I call that a Brussels sprout coming out.
And that's a
then
good sign.
The next stage is here. Mm-hmm. And then the next stage is here.
And if you're doing a timeline of these stages, how quickly do they typically grow?
Oh, that would be probably a week or two there between those last two.
And then?
And then it starts to develop here.
Okay. So they're
And then back here is...
Can we go this way?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want
Up
Jason
here
to fall
is
over. Come with me, Jason.
the fully developed,
And there we have it.
Called
so that is the
inflorescent.
full
And if you
blossom.
look
And
down in there-
this is, what do you call the pink lady?
pretty in pink.
Pretty in pink.
And if you look closely, you can see about 6 or 7 generations of flowers down in there that are developing, so that one drops off, there's another one ready to open right behind it.
And we're always hearing, from people, we do our weekly garden segment on how hard it is to keep plants and flowers alive. But you're saying that these thrive in the summer and
They thrive
spring
on
months.
neglect, yeah.
They thrive on neglect. I love that.
The only thing you have to be careful of this time of year with all this heat is if you happen to be growing it in a pot on a patio or on a deck where there's reflective heat, you want to water it twice as much. If it's on the ground, that's okay, but reflective heat and solar heat together can cause it to scorch.
And
Epsom salts helps with that, by the way.
Epsom
Greens
salt?
them up.
And if anyone's watching and they're interested in picking up one of these, what are your hours? When
We're
are you
open 9 to 5,
Okay.
Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
And, for tours, we have tours coming in here. Like I mentioned, we do Hawaiian luau's here, but the nursery is open to the public for anybody. We have trees anywhere from the newly rooted cuttings that you saw earlier up to 10, 12-foot trees.
And he's the Plumeria Prince, so any questions you have, he's got the answer. And he mentioned just now, and coming up, Russell, they do events here, including luau's, they do weddings, they make leis here, so I'm going to try my best at making a lei.
Yep.
Maybe I'll bring it back for you.
Thank you.
I will, I will.
Been in business a long time out there. He's done very well. Very proud of him. That's great.
Yeah,
That's great. Thanks. See you later on.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
And Good Day Tampa Bay, or should I say aloha. I know you've been waiting to see these all morning long. We are at the exotic Plumeria in Seffner along Dr. MLK, a vast garden of different Plumerias, over 180 different kinds. And yes, you can pick up your very own handmade lei. If you stop by here, you got to order first. I'm hanging out with Mr. Bunch this morning. How you doing?
All right, good.
We've been having a good time, right?
Yes, always with Plumeria.
So, this, first of all, smells incredible. And you want to pick the better, do you pick the better smelling lei or the prettier lei?
Well, it's kind of personal preference, just like everything else. There are some that are more well-suited to lei making that will last longer. Now, this lei that you have on is one of the most fragrant, but it only lasts about a day. But what I tell people, never take a lay off to save it. They're meant to be experienced. And while that flower has life,
Oh. I know this means a
take
lot
it,
to you.
take it.
Yeah.
Because it's a very special thing. I have no idea why it means so much to me, but it does.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's special
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
And we've been talking all morning long about the history and how you went to Hawaii, and that's really where this passion comes from. But let's talk about the leis and how to make them. I don't use a needle and thread very often, but you're teaching me how to do this.
Right.
So
right.
this is I didn't cheat. I promise. I've been doing this
Yes, you really
throughout
did
the morning.
that. You did that.
But this is the
Yeah.
start, right?
Yeah, this
so you
is the
do the
start.
needle and thread.
We have the needles. In fact, we sell needles that people want to make them themselves, and we use dental floss and wrap it through there, and then God made Plumeria to have leis made out of because they're perfect. You just run that needle right through it, and then you stick them flower to flower, and then it eventually makes the garland that becomes a lei, because at the end of the time, when we get through with them, and it usually takes about 50 flowers,
Okay.
we tie the ends back together, and it makes the full loop for a lei.
And you said that you're getting orders for these. You're sending them all.
Yeah. We just had an order this week for a school up in Pensacola or Panama City for 50 leis for a high school graduation for a private school, which is designed to promote the Polynesian culture. And they absolutely have to have these leis for that purpose.
It is beautiful. So you have to pre-order if you want one of these. We also mentioned that they do luau's, weddings, parties. You know, you can't wear a lei without doing a little
There you go.
luau. You're not going to join me? Come on, you know you want to.
The guys do
I've
something
been waiting to do
different.
this all
We're not
morning
very
long.
graceful.
Thanks for hanging out with me. I know I'm not Charlie, but I do my best. Good Day Tampa Bay will be back after the break. Aloha.